Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Natalie with Art and Mixed Media. Today we're going to talk about 7 ways how to use collages in mixed media. I've got a variety of examples here, and if you're up to that, coming up next, stay tuned.
A kiss, and so I did.
Alright, so let's start with the easiest one. In the last video we touched on it. For me, the easiest way to do mixed media and collage is do a glue book. Right? You just put together a picture. See if you can get some kind of a composition together. If you want me to do a video on compositions, let me know in the comments, because some people may struggle a little bit with it. I'm not the best at it, but I kind of have a natural trained eye now how to do it somewhat. I'm not perfect, but I can help you out if you want some help. So this is how you start. You cut out pieces and try to compose a picture. Okay, piece of art. But, so when you're getting comfortable with that, you can start using it on canvases, paper, and wood, and cardboard. Now I'll show you. We've got a whole box of scrap magazine pieces. So what you do is you just go through it and kind of think about what your theme, what you're painting, what your artwork is going to be about, and cut out the pieces you think would work. It could be a funny abstract piece. It could be something fairly recognizable. It's up to you. You cut them all out. You do the same thing. You try to have a good composition. You glue them on. So depending on your surface, you either use Mod Podge, matte medium, just your regular white glue, the bulk paper paste kind of stuff. Whatever sticks, depending on your surface. Again, if you want more information, I can make a separate video just on how to glue collage pieces on the different kind of surfaces. So this is on canvas. And the easiest way to start is either on paper or on wood. So you stick it all on how you want it, and it's kind of layered, or you can just do it whatever. It's up to you how you compose it. You have to let it dry probably overnight, and then you just kind of embellish it. Bring out the pieces of the painting you think are important to stick out and make a composition. Okay, so this is the first way on how to use collages in mixed media. Okay, now the second way how to use collage in mixed media. I made these a few years back when I tried out encaustic, and I had a lot of fun with it. There is actually wrapping paper underneath here and a greeting card. This is the wrapping paper on one side, so when you look, you kind of can see it. Kind of stops there, and then there's a greeting card on this side. And I kind of combined the two together and made one picture out of it. It's on a piece of wood, and I kind of really like it. See if I can get it in a floated frame somehow, and then kind of put it up for Christmas time. So this is one way. This one here is the same thing. I used a greeting card in the middle, and there's wrapping paper around it, and I just kind of just embellished the greeting card that's in the middle Made it a little bigger. Put encaustic first, like glued it down first with encaustic. Let it dry. Then went over top with acrylics and some glaze, and just made a picture out of it. I thought this was really cool too. But you don't have to use encaustic. Encaustic is wax, by the way, if you don't know what encaustic is. Wax, and it's a mixture of wax and some kind of sap, tree sap. But you can also use it on paper in your journal. You can just stick on some wrapping paper. This is actually not wrapping paper. This is a printout of my digital art I made. Digital design for my Redbubble shop. But it's the same consistency as wrapping paper. It's not glossy, but it's the same idea. You could put the wrapping paper down, and then you just kind of start building on top of it. You can also use wrapping paper and greeting cards in your abstract paintings. Now, I don't have one handy right now, but I'll show you. I'm going to insert a picture of an abstract piece that uses wrapping paper. Okay, what you do is you wet it so that it's easier to stick, and it's more flexible. There's two pieces. You usually take the one off. There's two, I think, because the backing and the front are not the same. You glue it on wherever you want. You should kind of rip it, and then you paint over it and make your abstract painting. Again, I'll insert some artists that did it that way. I also see when you have, like this one has embellishments, you actually can take these off and use them in your mixed media art. Make your own card, or use it in your journal. Excuse me. Okay, so that was the second way. The third way is use tissue. You know, when you get your presents wrapped in tissue, or sometimes you get a parcel, there's tissue. You keep those, and you can make art out of these. Here's a couple of examples. And look for them. There's some tissue paper in here. There's some here. And this one is one big piece of tissue paper. It's a napkin, but it's the same thing, tissue. You need to take the backing off. And because it was striped, I just used that for a guide as a landscape. Stuck it down with white glue, I think. You can use matte medium or Mod Podge. This one is also a piece of tissue paper on behind, and then I just build it up. Then I stuck actually one in the back, and then separate ones, and cut out these circles and made the flowers. More tissue paper underneath here. And here, it's also the same. Similar art, and you just build it up from there. The tissue paper also again can be used in abstract art. I also will insert another picture of abstract art with tissue paper. Okay, the fourth way of using it is old paintings. This one is a series of 6 paintings. There's 3 left now. I used them in my mixed media artwork. I used it in here. There's pieces of it. It's hard to see, but there's some here, some down here. And most of these things I like to use in combination. Here's an example. Where I just use it by itself, no other collage. So I made these landscape collages, and you can see these are all the pieces I ripped up. and came up with new fun combinations and of landscapes. These pieces are all cut out and then just embellished with watercolors, pens, markers, etc. See, it is that some of them are collages. I mean, you can if you look closely, but this is a piece of collage, this is, and down here in the middle I just used acrylics and acrylics and crayons and chalk and some gold. You can see there's a little gold, but yeah, I only used one kind of collage in this one. You also can use, this is really thick, you can use just watercolor paper or just use some from your sketchbooks that you don't care more for it. Cut them up and make some art out of it. The fifth way of using it is using scrapbook paper. So you can actually go into the dollar store, in my case, or the craft store, and buy sheets of already fun printed papers. These ones are kind of glossy ones. There's also ones that are just plain, not weird. These are a little tricky to glue on. So what I do is just cut out pieces and just start gluing them in the various journals or art pieces like I did here. Like this one has some in it. Okay, it's hard to find it, but I had one. Oh yeah, here. This is, and this is, and this is, and this is in my junk journal. Well, not junk journal, just journal itself, mixed media journal. Yeah. So you can see, they're fairly fun to use. Versatile, gives you a lot of options. The sixth, I think we're at 6 now, option is using newspaper or sewing patterns. This one is one, there's thinner ones. They're almost like parchment paper, but this one is thicker. It's lots of fun to use in so many different kinds of art project. So one way you can use it, like this, my journal here, on the page, like here, you put newspaper down, glue it down, and then you paint on top of it. One way I like to use it, or it's fun to use it, is doing pop art. I'm going to insert in a picture of the artist that this is very well. Use it. Newspaper and then paints on top of it. Again, it goes with sewing patterns or newspapers. Another way of doing collage is you make your own collage paper. The best thing to use is tissue paper. It's really thin. This one is glossy, but you can find some that's not. Or you can use parchment paper, the one that's not waxed, or very thin paper, cheap paper, like those notebook like this, from a notebook. So what you do is you can use any kind of colors. It doesn't really matter. Best thing is acrylics, because if you put some other layers on top, if you use watercolor, then it will bleed or wash out. So acrylics or acrylic gouache or some kind of inks are probably the best. So you can use stamps, just stamp it all over the place and just have fun. Or stencils. You can use all kinds of household items. You can just stick this in paint and just start making a pattern. Doesn't matter. Colors you like. And then you rip it up and you stick it either on paper or canvas or wood, and you can make fun mixed media paintings. And of course, the 8th way to use collage in mixed media is using all these ways I showed you in one art piece. Because this, like the other one I showed you, you use everything. This has a painting. It has origami paper, that's kind of like wrapping paper. Same consistency. It has magazine cutouts. And it has some paper somewhere underneath. There's newspaper underneath too. I don't think you see it anymore, but there used to be newspaper underneath. So I stuck newspaper underneath first, then the painting pieces, then the tissue and wrapping paper or origami paper, then the magazine pieces on top. And when that was all dry, I started embellishing again all the different pieces I liked to stick out and to embellish. I did some writing and some printing on here, stenciling. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So I encourage everybody to try mixed media collage, because it's just so much fun. It gives you so much variety and so much freedom to express yourself. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Tell me in the comments if you actually have done this before, or after watching this get inspired to do it. I hope you guys are gonna have a wonderful Sunday, and I see you in the next one.